Well, it's interesting. I grew up here in Houston, Texas, and Houston, Texas in the 1960s was sort of the mecca for heart surgery. Michael DeBakey, Denton Cooley, they did the first aneurysm, the first bypass, the first this, the first that, the first total artificial heart, the first successful heart transplant. And so the Houston Chronicle and the Houston Post, the two big newspapers at the time, always had headlines. Doctors at Texas Medical Center do first double bypass, or first left ventricular assist device, or first total artificial. Those were all done in Houston, Texas. And here I am, this little buzz-cut little boy on his way to elementary school, and my mom would take out the headlines and she'd put them there on the breakfast table next to my cereal bowl. And while my brother was reading the back of the Lucky Charms box, I was reading those. And being the good son, I professed to my mom my commitment to becoming a heart surgeon. Well, when I was in high school, you know, I was an okay student, but I was kind of a wild card, and I applied to the DeBakey summer surgery program. Michael DeBakey had a summer surgery program, and I guess they got a lot of applicants that year, or my application wasn't that compelling, but I didn't get in. Whatever. Went on to college and did whatever. Did a biology major and a chemistry major. I've always been a good student, but sort of not the most dedicated in my undergraduate studies. But then I started thinking that that might be something that I'd be interested in, and I started looking into it, and the more I found out about heart surgery and what was going on at that period of time, the more it captured my imagination. So I started really applying myself and got into medical school, actually here at Baylor College of Medicine. And in the 4 years at Baylor College of Medicine, I did a lot of rotations on the general surgery service, where I was an indefatigable hard worker and innovative, and always had a smile on my face. And they said, man, you ought to stay here and do your residency. That'd be great. So I did. I stayed on my residency, and during my residency did a lot of electives on the cardiac surgical service with Dr. DeBakey, and actually got into Dr. DeBakey's heart surgery program and became his last chief resident. And one day as chief resident, you know, I operated with him 1,000 times. I was on the elevator with him, and we're riding along in silence going to see somebody. I said, you know, I applied for your summer surgery program when I was in high school and I didn't get in. He looked at me and said, you know, that shows good judgment on my part. But anyway, so I, you know, did all my training with him, and then I accepted a post at Harvard and went up to the Beth Israel Deaconess, where I was the director of minimally invasive heart surgery. And they're sort of like Dr. Dow, invented a bunch of stuff in my basement, one of which has been used in 140,000 heart operations for doing beating heart bypass without stopping the heart. And I invented it in my house with a Dremel and soup spoons and stuff. And now I have, I just looked on the internet, I've got 10 patents and 23 patents pending for medical devices, and have 2 venture-backed medical device startup companies, one that's in human clinical trials with the FDA. And so, you know, I have a real passion for being the surgeon, engineer, inventor, and I think Dr. Dow and I share that love.